Uh, Awesome. So, hey, Audrey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we met each other maybe 2 or 3 months ago through a mutual friend, Katie Cope. She was at least the one who introduced me to you, and
Yeah,
it's just been wonderful to get to know you and your son Maverick as well. Do you want to just fill me in a little bit and fill our listeners in on how we sort of met each other and just a little bit about your background?
yeah, sure. Hey, Midge. We did meet through mutual friends, Katie and Cameron, and I had been watching them on Facebook, um, work with their kids, Max and Seneca, who are relatively around the same age as my son Maverick, and they were showing videos that their kids were reading at 2 and even before then. And so I was intrigued, like, what are they doing? What's going on? Because being a first time parent, I really value education, and I wanted to see and have Maverick experience the same comprehension and literacy that their children were experiencing. So I friended them, and that's how I met you. And we've been using the same platform,
Mhm.
and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, and just before we jump into that, I'm curious, when you think about, like, you want the best for Maverick, obviously, like every parent does. But what do you see as the benefit of educating a child? So Maverick is he's 7 now, 6 or 7?
Yeah, he's 6. He'll be 7 in a week.
Okay, perfect. I knew it was close to that. So what is your approach to education? Like, why is it so important for a kid to make sure they can comprehend and understand?
Yeah, so I value education for him, but really what the root was just wanting him to have a grasp on vocabulary. That's really the root for everything. And when we enrolled Maverick, we were on this path. We wanted to enroll Maverick in pre-K, kinder, the best schools, regardless of price. That wasn't even a question. It was more so giving him this opportunity or a baseline to have an opportunity in life, just to have happiness, freedom, and the vocabulary behind that. So we were hoping it would provide. But so price didn't matter, and we put him in top-notch schools at an early age. And Maverick didn't come out fully reading. And so these tests showed that he was above the charts in their charting on math, but he was below in comprehension. So we wanted one-on-one. We both worked, his dad and I. And so we were paying this institution to hopefully train Maverick in reading, but the one-on-one personalization wasn't happening, but yet our pocket was getting drained for the tuition. And now our child was just coming out with a learning disability label, but it wasn't quite that. So where we're at now with what we do now, it's been mind blowing. Like, we've gotten everything we wanted and then some.
Wow. Yeah, and so you had the school, and then I think you also said it was like a tutoring service too.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah. So in kindergarten, yep, when we saw that Maverick was falling below in reading and comprehension, before we medicated him, which is a personal choice, we would never, but before we went down this road that was almost recommended, we put him in tutoring. And so we went to Sylvan Learning, and we put him in tutoring 4 days a week for an hour a day, which was recommended for a child of his age, consistency. And we did that for 10 months straight. And so that, of course, was pricey, and that was in addition to his parochial education. and he still didn't come out reading. So what Maverick enjoyed about it was social hour, and they did a traditional rewards. So if you did your hour, they let you go shopping with points. And so Maverick just wanted the gift at the end and just did whatever. And it was really memorization, but that didn't work for Maverick. He would quickly forget what he learned that day, and it still took practice, at home. So that's what it was exhausting to Maverick. It was exhausting for us. It was financially, we were almost tapped out with school plus tutoring. So it left us looking for another option.
Yeah. And then I know, so Cameron and Katie, they openly show their two kids, Max and Seneca, yeah, reading, understanding. Max is programming computers now and he's 4. So it's remarkable, right? So what was so great is that you and I had connected, and you'd shared with me a little bit about how Maverick was just having, yeah, difficulty reading and maybe like flipping the letters around. Was that like the main
Yeah,
thing? Did I get that right?
yeah, yeah. It was like B's and D's. He was flipping them around, but he would also get really nervous. So when he got nervous, he wants to know. He speaks so much for scoring so low. He's such a talker. He's so chatty, and he's got a lot of great ideas, brilliant ideas, and he doesn't care how it comes out. He's telling you his ideas. And so it was frustrating when he couldn't get this test right, or he couldn't remember the word, but he knew the word's meanings. He was very eager. The eagerness never went away. He was always excited, but it was a little bit frustrating when he didn't get it right, because he wanted to get it right. So that's
Yeah.
where we were.
Yeah, and I can imagine as a parent as well, putting the money into it, putting in hours and all that time and not seeing the results. It's a bit frustrating. So then we met, chatted about TechnoTutor, what's possible with that. So would you mind sharing a little bit about how your journey has been then after you got TechnoTutor? One, what'd you do with Sylvan in the school? You still going to those?
No, not
Okay.
at all. So, oh my gosh. So I knew that Cameron and Katie were using TechnoTutor, right? And I just knew that we had to use it too. And and so I presented it to his father, and we were just on this path to go this traditional route. And finally, when I was talking to the Sylvan, I made really good relationships. I made really great rapport with Sylvan, and I respected who was our tutor, and she was really in tune with children and children's needs. And when I sat down with her monthly to talk about Maverick, she says, he's so excited. He's got a lot to say. He's got great ideas. And so she looked at me in my eye and she said, try everything. If Sylvan isn't working for you guys and giving you the results, try everything. And that was kind of the green light. And that's when I told Katie, I'm ready. Like, let's do this now. And that's when she put me in touch with you, and our lives have transformed since we got TechnoTutor. I took Maverick's picture the day he got it. He's holding it up. And with the gold key, he's so excited. And once we started it, it's just been such a exciting, fun, easy journey that I would just share with everybody, that they
Mm.
should they should definitely consider it.
Yeah. What have been some of the improvements you've maybe noticed with Mavericks? And this, by the way, is in just 2 months.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What
This
what
is
did
just,
you what
yeah,
have you
just in
noticed?
2 months. Yeah, so I introduced it to Maverick, and I told him, just see how the words come, and give it a chance, and let's see. And we did just a little bit at first, but we introduced it daily. And Maverick, he used to be so anxious reading. He used to get tired reading. I'm talking like the first couple, once I would bring out a book, he'd almost be dreadful, like, no, not this again. Reading's not my thing, mom. And just not wanting to do it. Of course, he would ultimately do it, but he wasn't looking forward to it. He wasn't enthusiastic. He wasn't going to pick out books. He was almost writing it off, and then after we started doing TechnoTutor, he looks forward to it. He has clarity. There's no more anxiety. It's fun and easy. We're not tutoring for hours a day
Mm,
anymore.
mhm.
We about do 20 minutes a day, and we're off to our activities in our life, whereas our life was school and tutoring before, like 12 hours a day of studying. And now it's 20 minutes and we're involved in so many other activities. We're in soccer, basketball, music classes. He's enjoying the water park during the day. He's just enjoying his life as almost 7-year old. And our life has shifted it from seriousness, from this pressure, to now we're just learning so rapidly and easily, and our life has opened up to do everything that we dreamed of.
Wow. And I know with TechnoTutor, yes, it's helping us learn and you get to integrate information and that's all wonderful. But also, what have you noticed in maybe other areas of his life and with you? Is there a bit more, I guess, confidence or stability? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so the confidence that I've seen with Maverick is he's not tired anymore. He's excited now. Reading doesn't scare him. This fear has dissipated, and he's always wanted to tell me about his ideas. They come across clearly now. If he can't get it across clearly, he can correct himself and rephrase his statement, and we can sit and have a conversation with clarifying, without there being frustration or just dropping the subject because you can't understand each other.
Hmm.
So there's understand. So now we're moving forward and making plans with clarity and understanding and ease, really.
Wow, that's wonderful. And yeah, is there anything else you want to share about either what you've noticed maybe with yourself or kind of how things are unfolding as now we move into, into the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's comes a lot of pressure with being a parent, and you want to get things right. And that was definitely me, just wanting the best, and this sense of competitiveness, sort of, it's there, it's real, it's there. That and just with life, how life gets thrown at you with different situations, I've been able to effectively parent, be happy parenting and enjoying my role as a mom fully, and still deal with life on life's terms by using TechnoTutor for myself.
Mm. And what does that look like? Just even at a high level, how are you using TechnoTutor to do that?
So I enter in daily affirmations
Mm.
into my TechnoTutor, and it takes you from repeating something over and over and over again, hoping it's going to work or stick, to where I've entered my affirmation. I've had people reiterate what I've entered back to me like the next day and just tell me a statement. And I'm like, I just entered that affirmation in TechnoTutor. This is mind blowing.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so you clearly just you're taking it and you're running with it, which is so wonderful. It's such a joy to be able to see you grow as well as Maverick. And I can just imagine, like seriously, 2 to 3 months. Imagine now after 6 months or a year, what's possible. So yeah. Just for anyone listening, if they're curious about TechnoTutor or to hear more about your story and just chat one-on-one, I'm going to include in the description a link to your Facebook as well as my Facebook so people can get in touch with us. We're easygoing people, we're just happy to share our stories and share what's working because as you and I both see, there's thousands and thousands of parents out there really struggling, really looking for a solution and TechnoTutor works, period. So is there anything
Absolutely.
else you wanna share with anyone listening, Audrey?
I'm just super excited. I really wish I could transfer this enthusiasm to everyone that's looking. It's been such a big shift from seriousness to finally being able to enjoy life and smile so big. There's been a lot of tears and a lot of money spent trying to find the solution, but I'm here now.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy life, Audrey. And I know I appreciate this. I'm sure our viewers will appreciate this. And I look forward to continuing to watch and explain all this progress that you're making and that we're all making together, so we can, provide this education to families and kids and create a better world. So thanks, Audrey.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Mitch.
All right. Bye, everyone.